First off, Marwencol is not a real place in Belgium. I thought the director was fucking with me or I was reading a Belgian map wrong, but it doesn't exist. It's just a fictional town and the meaning towards Marwencol is a portmanteau of Mark, Wendy, and Colleen. Mark, who is the creator of this world, Wendy, who is a crush and didn't appear in the film, and Colleen, who was Mark's other crush who appeared in this film. Let's learn about Mark Hohenkamp, the protagonist in this documentary. He's a Navy veteran, an artist, used to be an alcoholic, got into a bar fight in 2000 which wiped his memory clean. He's a cross-dresser and owns 300 pairs of women's shoes from heels to boots. When his insurance ran out, thanks Obama, for both hospital stays and therapy, he decided to take his matter to his own hands and create his fictional town with a World War II theme, which is kinda odd considering he's a Navy vet and the Army doesn't like the Navy branch, hence the rally cry, "Go Army, beat Navy," being chanted every time they face on a college football ground. But hey, to each of their own. Using Barbie dolls and manly dolls. And when I say manly dolls, I mean he's not sticking a fucking G.I. Joe in the fucking frame, but rather he's using military dolls that the hobbyists use in their scale model projects. Marwencol, the film, has the style of interviews of Hohenkamp history, how was the town created, and interviews of people who are in this miniature town. You may be saying right now, a man playing with dolls and shooting with a camera, well it must have a robot chicken feel. And you're wrong, because he only takes still shots of the dolls and not do a stop motion. Well, he only did a stop motion for a kissing scene, but that's about it. The rest were still shots of the bar, the church, a staged catfight between the Barbie dolls, and the reenactment of his bar fight using SS officers as the teenager that banged his reset button. When watching this film, you right away feel sadness because sure, a man playing with toys looks innocent, but learning his past in the beginning of the film and then hearing Hohenkamp's talking, it's hard to enjoy the film to the fullest. There are some comedic parts when Mark friends came by to see this place, and one of his friends says, "Well, does your town have Barbies?" Which Hohenkamp rebutted. "Why, you want to become gay town or something?" Or when he created a time machine using a broken VHS player and some cell phone components, and giving the reason why he's using a broken VHS player as a time machine was because it ate his favorite porno tape. It's like watching Forrest Gump, but with real people. Also keep the whole he's going to a mental anguish stored in the back of your head, no pun intended, or you won't enjoy the film or what it is, because he's using the town as a therapy tool while others sees it as a form of art. Instead of letting out its anger towards a random stranger, his friends and family, or the hooligans who busted his head, he's using the dolls to relieve his anger. During the end of the film, the photos he was taking, it was being shown in an art gallery in New York City, and at first he was skeptical because he didn't want his photo to be shown in public, and Tom Putnam, the person who discovered Mark, not from his work but rather seeing Mark pulling a jeep with a stick and string, was also skeptical because people might think his work was ironic to the art world. Fucking beatnik. The positives I found in this film was the town itself. Only using scrap wood and a day's work, he made his backyard into a World War II themed dorp, or village. Yeah, Belgians speak 3 languages. And the rules he created, which was everybody shall be friendly towards another and free booze to the soldiers. The other perk I found in this film was the replay value. When he first said he was a cross-dresser, the hint the director gave was when he did a close-up shot on Mark's feet, which were painted hot pink with a little toe ring. Then when I replayed this documentary, you can see that he was wearing stockings in the first 20 minutes of the film and seeing toy heels scattered around his town. It was basically like an Easter hunt to find them. The negative for this film was the style the director filmed. Sure, it was his first time filming, but mixing the style between DV Camp and Super 8 format. And if you're wondering, yes, I read the Wikipedia page because I want to make sure I sound professional. With air quotes, I want professionals. But still, mixing these 2 formats was an odd choice. Just stick with one because every 20 minutes or so he switched from DV Camp to Super 8. And sure, he used the Super 8 for a flashback montage, it still felt out of place. The second part was one of the music choices he used in the film. Sure, it's nitpicking, but there was a scene when Hohenkamp was dressing up his dolls for his latest shoot, and the music that the director chose felt creepy. My recommendation would have been something classical with a light melody. Overall, this documentary is about a broken man trying to rebuild his life using his fictional town as a way to channel his emotion from frustration to romance, trying to make sense of the changes around him and starting a new leaf in life. Not only he's using his town to express his emotion and stabilizing his hand to stop shaking, but it also connects him from the past self as an artist because at the beginning of the film, his sketches and art books were being shown and using his dolls in village, or dorp, whichever you want to call it, trying to keep his old self around and remind him what he did before the infamous night. So, would I recommend this film? Yes, it shows the struggles of a person who lost his past trying to build a new beginnings. And don't go into this film thinking that it's gonna be a stop motion film about World War II, but rather a person who's struggling to be normal and experiencing new things along the way. So yeah, and before I go, this film is actually gonna get a Hollywood treatment, so hopefully it doesn't fuck up, and make sure you cross your fingers. So yeah, if you want to see action figures in action, man in high heels, or a man setting a doll up while the doll is setting up a doll, then this film is for you. Until then, we meet again. Oh god, imagine Steve Corolla on high heels. I gotta see that.